You go live. All right, we're
Mm-hmm.
official live now. I'm with the
Yay.
Wandering Geocachers from New York, so you guys could say hi to everybody.
Hi. Hi.
Even though there's no one in here yet, though, we can wait till a couple people show up. So,
Sounds good.
Works for me.
Yep.
or if you just want to get started, we can get started too. So it's up to you guys.
And, I just
Elena,
got the
put your phone
notification.
on silent.
I did. I just got the notification that Dan was live.
I put my phone on completely silent. It's not even going to vibrate at me.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, wait, let me stop because I have my work chat going still for another hour, and that's going to get annoying.
Uh-huh.
All right, do you guys want to begin? You guys could talk about how you got into caching and all that fun stuff.
Well, like I said, I got Elena started. I started because my friend at the time, we were hanging out quite a bit, and he decided, he's like, come here, I want to show you something. So we drove over to one of the caches that's over by me, by the firehouse, the fire museum. And he's like, all right, it's over. He didn't tell me a single thing about geocaching. He said, all right, it's over there somewhere. Go find it. I said, what am I looking for? He's like, just go find it. Here's a pen. I'm like, had no idea what I was looking for. There were holes all over in the ground. I'm like, first of all, I'm not sticking my hand in them holes. I don't know where they go, and I don't know what's in them. And he sat in the car. I came back about 5 minutes later, said, I don't know what I'm looking for. I couldn't find it. Let's go. But I went back probably about a week later after I looked into what geocaching was, and I found it. It was a metal magnet for a garage holder. And it had the log inside of it, and I signed it, and that was my very first one.
Did he go with you that first time or no?
When I found it, no, but he went with me to go ahead and bring me, just go find it. I'm like, what am I looking for? But when I found it a week later, he was not with me. I decided on my walk to work, because I walk right past it every single day and had no clue at all. But I walked in, and I walked when I found it at work, and it was there. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And that was actually, I think, one of the first ones when Elena and I went caching here in Buffalo that we went and found.
Okay.
It is the one that was on the rail over the bridge.
Oh, that one. Yeah, okay. I remember that one. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta come up for a day. We gotta do Buffalo again, because we gotta find that one by the bar in that gravel, whatever, by your house.
Still there. I'll have to check on that one and see if it's still there, because I know that they did construction over there recently, so I don't know if it's still there or not.
Yeah,
I've had bad luck in Buffalo.
Just gotta be smart. No, I'm just teasing. You are smart.
I've gotten bad luck every time I go to Buffalo, or even the same with Atlanta. I have the worst luck caching in the world. Like, me and Aaron went down to Atlanta and we got a ticket 10. Like, we were literally 10 feet from the car when we got it. So.
Aww.
That sucks.
I think quite a few times when Elena's up here and we go caching, most of ours are DNFs.
Well, yeah, the first time, and then we decide we're stubborn, and we go back, and we eventually find them.
Some of them,
the Sabres one. The Sabres one.
Yeah, that one was fun.
That one was fun.
Was that the snake? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was something a snake. On top of it, it was raining. It was cold, and
it was dark.
And it was dark the first time. Check out what she has. And yeah, and then we ended up stopping its importance for something. So.
You guys have met Nancy then, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
She has a lot of nice caches. If you go and find hers in Buffalo, they're really nice.
Yeah, I know we've found a couple of Nancy's.
Sorry,
The
my
one,
dog is eating something she shouldn't be.
In fact, every time I look through the logs on a cache, I look for Nancy. See when did she get out and find it? I'm like, wait, when did Nancy find this?
Yeah.
yeah, Nancy, she likes when I go up there. Like she'll let you film her caches. She loves when people film her caches. So
Nice.
you guys got to do her Dr. Seuss run. It's right by my mom's house off Seneca Street down there by the that soccer park up in
We
by Ridge
found,
Road.
remember, Stace, we found the South Buffalo Tiger one that was hers?
Yes, we did find that one.
Yes, we did.
When I seen that
Yep.
one, that brought back memories because I spent a lot of time because I went to Bishop Timon for almost 2 years, so I spent a lot of time over there.
Ah,
Nice.
okay.
So
Nice.
yeah, there's one that I want to get, and I only got part of it, and I couldn't find the last cache for it. There's a multi that's on that bridge below the Peace Bridge, the little walkway that they have over there.
Yeah.
I got the first and second chords, but I could never find the final because it was in a pile of rocks, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. So
I hate those rock ones. There's a rock one that in Pennsylvania that had me stumped for an hour in a parking lot.
Yeah.
I never found it.
She told me about that. Yeah, you told me about that one.
That one was terrible. It's just a long, probably 10, 15-foot line of rocks that's separating parking spaces. The hint is it's a rock.
Yeah.
The container is a fake rock. I sat in the spot that brought me to ground zero and looked for 20 feet in each direction. I looked in either direction, and I flipped over almost every single rock trying to find it, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's a rock in 30,000 rocks.
Nancy has one over by the McKinley Mall like that too. So I couldn't find that one. I went there to look for that one because she had a ice cream event last time I was in New York, and I went to that, and I spent probably a good half an hour, 45 minutes at it, and I couldn't find it. So
Interesting.
Yes.
There's a bowling ball one there too. What?
Oh, I think we found the bowling ball one.
It's an old
abandoned bowling alley that got knocked down.
Oh, yeah, we did find that one.
I like that one. That was creative.
That one was clever. That was very clever. Definitely clever. So I started caching because of Stacy. Might as well get into this.
Yeah.
And so that I get to say too. So yeah, she got me into it. We were at the Lensman's Overview Park, and where my husband and I got engaged. And so I had her and my brother, and they were like, "Oh, let's see, there's a geocache here." I was like, "Huh?" So they told me what it was and explained to me what it was, and then my first cache was an ammo can. I remember that was the first one we went was the ammo can.
Yeah, that one was fairly easy.
Well, we walked right past it a couple times, though. Remember?
Yeah.
But other than that, we had then found it, and then yeah, there was no hope for me after that. I was so addicted, it's ridiculous.
Is that the part that's above Brockton?
Yes.
I've been there a few times as well. So it's been a while since I've been there, but I've been there.
It was definitely a lot of fun with all the trees. GPS was not happy.
No. I didn't know there was even caches up there. I would have found them up there. I know there's a lot on the trail system up there now.
Yeah, there's a couple of them there.
Yeah, there's at least 2 or 3 of them now.
I think we found 2. We were after a third and went, we've been in here for like 2 hours. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Have you guys found any on the rails and trails or no?
No, I haven't done the rails and trails yet. Josh and I did complete the Amish trail and got both the coins for those. And there's part 1 and part 2. We've done both parts. I got the coins, and then our next one is there's a Cattaraugus historical trail that we want to do, and I think there's one other one, I forgot what it is, but that's another one that we want to do and get our things from. And it ended up being hilarious that day. we had to go shopping for groceries, and so we were like, well, we're gonna go in Gowanda. There's one in Gowanda, so we're like, all right, we'll just go there. So we just went to that one, and then I'm like, oh, well, there's another one in this town. Josh was like, well, we're just over the hill, we might as well. So, but with each of the caches, he was like, well, it's just over the hill. It's just over the hill. So we ended up spending an entire 8 hours doing the entire Amish Trail, both parts of it, and didn't finish till like 9 o'clock at night. And we finished at the Harley dealership in Gowanda in the dark with our flashlights, like trying to sign the log and everything. So that was kind of entertaining for the day.
We love going out people caching because you find the stories. You have a whole bunch of different things that happen when you're on the road. So,
oh yeah, totally,
definitely.
You guys want to talk about your GeoBash?
Yes,
yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
we have it. The place all booked, so it'll be out at. Oh, Elena, go ahead.
Okay, it'll be at Chestnut Ridge at the casino room like we had it last year. It will be August 22nd at 4:30. Granted, the coronavirus doesn't shut us down, but we decided to kind of host it originally as a way to kind of get to know other geocachers and kind of get to learn the new people in our area, and they could get to learn us. So we kind of use it as a publicity thing, but it ended up turning into a lot of fun just having our friends there, and we usually provide food. Stacy will bring a couple. She got the cash crates, and so she'll take some of the coins or goodies or whatever's inside of it, and we use it for prizes. So, excuse me, we play a couple games. We have some giveaways. This year it'll probably just be games and other stuff. So we also bring subs for. We just got them last year from Fredonia Food Mart. We'll probably be having them again since we really enjoy their food and everyone else seemed to really enjoy it. So we'll have it from them again. And so trying to remember what else we did. We did games as well. I have, I forgot to grab it, but I have a little crocheted, I made it little flag that has the GC logos on it. I have 2 of them. I hid them around the park and then had them say you cannot use your cell phone because obviously they did not have any form of GPS on them. And I said sometimes you have to try and find things without a GPS and without any form of finding anything. So that was kind of their way of use your geosenses to find these when you don't have those things accessed to you. So they of course there was a couple that found them, brought it back, and they got a prize. So that was really fun. But usually 2 others will bring, whatever food they want to kind of share. We sort of do dishes to pass and drinks to share. We usually bring water or whatever and have fun that way. So we usually have GeoEmo. We had about 15 the first year, 25 the second year. So we're kind of hoping for a nice bigger turnout this year, even bigger. It seems to be growing, which is fun. There are also geocaches in the park. So there's one mystery one
that park closes at dusk.
Yes, we learned that the hard way the first year.
They lock the gates at dusk, guys. Don't attempt the ones that are inside the park after dusk. I promise it's not good.
So this was the fiasco. Y'all gonna laugh at this. So it was 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere's in there, and according to what we saw, the sign said they closed at 9. So we were like, okay, no, that's what it was 8:30. So we went down to shelter 19, and there was a cache nearby there. So we parked in the shelter parking lot there and then walked down the road to where the cache was. Found our cache, signed the log, came back. Hopped in the truck, it was dark, and headed on our way. Well, we thought, we'll just go out the other way, not towards the main gate, but the other way because, we're right there. Why go that way when you can just turn around and go out? So we head down that direction, and we get to the end where you're just about to leave, and the gate was closed. We're like, well, that's odd. Okay, well, so we flipped around and headed back towards the main area. We get there, that gate was closed. I'm like, oh crap. So we thought, well, can we go around it? But we couldn't go around it because they had strategically placed a couple boulders on either side of the fence, and there were trees right there. So it's not like you could squeeze between the boulders and the trees. So we're like, crap, now what do we do? So we're trying to figure it out. Well, at the same time, thankfully, there was some people there that had a movie night going on. So we thought, well, maybe they can help us. So Josh obviously can't go anywhere, so he decides to stay with the truck. Stacy and I then decide to walk it back or hub it back to the casino room where we had been and where the party of the movie had been going on. So we go to there and talk to the people like, we didn't know that they closed and now we're stuck and we're trying to get out. And does anybody have a key? They're like, no, we have no idea. They said, well, maybe the park ranger's still there. So they quick ran and found the park ranger. The park ranger was like literally about to leave. So he hops in the thing. He goes, I'll be right down. Well, on his way, he had stopped to grab the park patrol?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the park patrol policeman, whatever he was, and follows us down to our truck. Well, then he, of course, proceeds to yell at us as to why were we there and how did he not see us, which then we began to realize he didn't check thorough enough. Because when we said, oh, we were at shelter 19, he was like, oh,
I didn't go there.
I didn't go there.
Check up there.
We're like, well, no wonder you didn't see we were there. So he eventually opens the door. He opens the gate and lets us out. And he's like, if you do that again, you're going to be banned from the park. Or you would have had to sit here till morning. And I'm like, that was not going to be an option because I have 2 dogs here at home that need to have been let out because we had been gone for about 8 hours. She had to get home to my brother, and I don't know if you had your child at the time, but
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so she had to get home to her daughter. So we learned after that we need to be mindful. So usually now it's just gotten to the point where if we have the time, we will. But most times it's like we have our bash and we leave because we're not getting stuck again.
A few people asked a few questions. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and supposedly they decided that in August, their winter rules apply. So that's why you leave by 8 o'clock. And yet it's still summer, so they should be open till 9 or 10.
You're right.
Made no sense to us.
The location is going to be at the casino room at Chestnut Ridge Park. And it is it August 22nd, Elena? We got the date for?
Yes,
all
it's
right.
the main lot.
Has not been created yet, but I will probably get on that this weekend to go ahead and make the GC happen if they'll allow it.
Yes. Also, the casino room is a lot of people will know it. It's really easy. You just go into the park, take a left, and it's that very main big lodge sitting on the hill, on the sledding hill. A lot of people know it as soon as you say it. Oh, yeah, that's what that is. So that's the main thing. We have the entire lodge. We have all the space you need. We're trying to fill it up. We've had 3 or 4 tables, and I'd like to see like the entire area filled.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah, Ridge is just outside of Buffalo. If anybody doesn't know, and they also have one of the best earth caches out. It's the Eternal Flame, which is also located at that park. I don't know if any of you have seen that cache before. So.
Yes, the Eternal Flame is beautiful. We still have to do the actual earth cache, but we have walked down and viewed the flames. It's beautiful.
And also we discovered too that thanks to the rocks, that the water at the bottom of the Eternal Flame, there's a waterfall. The water is drinkable, actually. Her and I had grabbed some because we were tired from walking down our trip, and we tasted it, and it was actually tasted like extremely purified bottled water. It was really good, so we kind of bottled some and took it up with us and had it along our trip, since it's a little bit of a, it's a little bit of a climb. Yeah, a bit of a hike. So you'll definitely want the water, but the water tastes so good. Huh?
You're very welcome, Semo.
Yeah. Yes. So August 22nd, again, to answer the question, August 22nd at 4:30, we have a tendency to be late to our own party, so we're gonna try and get there early.
We've given ourselves a starting time of 3:30.
Yeah.
Like we have to be to the park by 3:30. That way it's not 4:35 and we're just pulling up going, my bad.
Plus on top of it, that also gives it a chance. I have made up for each of the tables little jars that have little candles inside and my own little geocache decorations. And the last couple of years, I've kind of put those out on the fly because someone didn't do it on time ahead of time.
You guys have any
this year?
What are your okay, I'm gonna ask some questions and then we'll go back to talking regular stuff. What's been your favorite caches so far that you've found so far? Like your top favorite cache?
Oh gosh.
If you had to point somebody out in New York to go to see a cache quick.
Oh gosh.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's just to me, all the caches are very clever and oh yeah. Josh is also here. He's part of our Wandering Geocachers off the side. He's the silent version of us. But anyway, the tank. He says the Sheridan tank.
That one was definitely a good one. That one took us quite some time to find that nano cache inside of a tank.
Yeah, the thing was literally like it was literally about like that big, and it was
Just
hiding in this
metal
huge,
nano.
World War II or Korean or whatever stupid war it was, but it was in that huge tank, and we're like, oh my gosh, that one was quite a find.
Yeah, that one was definitely a fun one.
Yeah.
Have either of you cached in the snow yet?
No. Not really.
Well, because a lot of times with me, I would be out of work and I'd have to wait for Josh. If I had, like when I was working, I had to wait for Josh. So I would get out around earlier than him. So if it was snowing, I would sometimes go and get caches if it wasn't too bad. Although there was one that we just found recently at the post office in Irving, and it was actually snowing that day. That was the one you found that last time. It was kind of like half blizzarding that day, and him and I found that one when it was snowing.
Awesome.
Yes, we like the tank caches too, Ryan. They're definitely keep us busy.
There's one over by my Walmart that you and I still have to go look and see if we can find, because I believe it's another one just like the tank we found.
Ah. Okay.
Another one to take us a couple of hours. Maybe not with more knowledge, but maybe so. Yeah.
We have more caboose rides here.
I was gonna say, I know the one cache her and I are on the trail of is it's in Dunkirk, by the power plant. It's Angler or something or other. It's called
the Angler's Cache.
Yeah, and it says don't be afraid to get your feet wet. I think there's a rope in amongst the rocks, but I've looked under that bridge, cannot find the stupid thing. So I don't know. As part of it's like, I wonder if we took a fishing hook, could we pull it up? Or the other thought is we put on bathing suits and we jump right in and see if we can find it. Yes, go for a swim when it's nice and warm out, and because it's not like, and I tried standing on the rocks, they're very slippery, so because there's lots of algae. But I'm like really scared because I didn't know at first if it was a snake, but it didn't seem to move after I jumped out. So I'm thinking I hit a rope of some kind, but I couldn't. I don't know. It's been kind of a puzzle if I should pull it or not pull it.
Have you guys run into gadget caches up there? Because even I haven't ran into too many gadget caches. Like Nancy has a couple that I've ran across, but other than that, is there any other gadget caches up there?
Not that I've come across, no.
I think Stacey and I wanted to be kind of one of the first of few to put a gadget cache up this way, but we just haven't got creative enough to figure one out of what to make.
Well, we
So,
kind of had one together, but it then that
yeah,
got wrong.
yeah, it did.
Darn
So,
Sears.
I know. Basically, what that one was going to be is I was working for Sears home store at the time when they were open, and so I got from them as a way to bring in customers a toolbox, several of the just nonsense tools. We got a hat for the first to find person and whatever, and then we had put a combination on in the lock, and the combination is the date that geocaching. I forgot what it was. Like
No,
geocaching
it was the
started.
date Craftsman started.
Yes. Yeah, the date
The year
Craftsman
that
started.
Craftsman started. Yeah.
Yes. And so we were trying to figure out how to get the numbers. Like they'd have to go into the store because that's where the owner wanted the cache. So we were trying to figure out like how could we get the numbers and whatever. Well, I was then let go a few weeks later because they were overstaffed, they didn't have enough hours, some sick people came back, and then not long, maybe within a few months, the owner of the Sears store walked away, closed everything, and now it sits abandoned and there's no use putting it there now because the former store manager lives next door. So although he was all for it, so I could probably convince Joe to put it there, but anyway.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't have the same meaning because it was meant for Sears.
Yeah, true.
No.
See, like it must be like depending on the reviewer base, we can't have anything with any name of any copyrighted thing. Like I can't even say Lowe's behind Lowe's cache. They don't accept anything like that. If it's copyrighted, they exit out. They don't even like it. So
Well, the home stores are separate from the corporate stores. They're all individually owned, where Sears corporate, like the normal stores, like in the malls or whatever, those are corporate stores, so they're owned by one company.
but I'm talking about
So
like cache wise, we can't like have anything copyrighted named in anything. Like even in the description in the cache page, we can't say, oh, it's at the Lowe's or this or that. They exit out right away. They want you to erase everything on it. So
that's good to know.
So
anyway.
Would you guys rather go in the woods for a micro or in a city for a ammo can?
Oh,
I'd probably truck through the woods.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of in the woods cache.
Yes, that's a lot of bushwhacking.
Yeah. Or
and
mud
some
swapping.
And some unnecessary climbing. Remember the church?
That's never unnecessary.
Oh my gosh. So we were taking Stacy home on this one. And it was it was in Branter, even Angola, somewhere in there. It was like on a corner. And so it was the Wesleyan church there. And it was like, okay, well, the cache is in the woods. So I and Josh got the brilliant idea because they're like, oh yeah, there's a walkway or whatever. And we're like, we don't see a walkway. So we scaled the side of the hill to get around to finally to the trees where we could walk. We found the cache and then realized, oh, there really was a path.
We turned around after signing the log and putting everything back and went, oh, hey, look, I found the path.
Yeah.
So we turned a 1-star into a 5.
Oh, we've done that plenty of times. Like we'll go through the woods and we'll get briared up and I'll be cut up and then we get to the cache location and there's a trail that went around. So
yeah, that's exactly what we did. We went down the embankment, went, all right, cache is about here. Let's go up and in, and then went up, around, through, under, here, smack. All right, look, I found the cache. Here oh, wait, look, there's the path.
Have you guys done a night cache yet?
What?
Have you guys done a night cache yet?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did the puzzle factory. That was fun. Really enjoyed that.
That was definitely interesting.
And we also then, after we were done, ran around the parking lot and picked up the free puzzle pieces.
Which Elena still has.
Yes, I do. I don't have them in front of me because they're in my truck for caching, but yes, I do have them.
Did you guys have to file fire tax with that one, or was it a different kind of night cache?
I think I'd say it was a different one because it was I don't know, because I don't want to give it away necessarily either. But we found this cache in a very interesting spot. We had gone there once before, and we were looking in all the bushes, and then Stacy's like, I think it's in this other place. So sure enough, it was. And then this one, it was kind of in a tube, I'll just say. And so that one was kind of easy.
The obvious was the obvious place was the suspicion. I went, wait a minute. Why is that? After we left, I went, wait a minute. Why is that there?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And I was like, that's why it doesn't make sense. It's where it goes. Duh.
Exactly. Yeah.
When we went to Geo Woodstock in Waynesville, North Carolina, they have a night cache that's in the middle of the city, and we started off with, I think, 3 or 4 people. By the time we finished it, it was probably 40 of us going after this one night cache, and we had flashlights shining in all the buildings that night because they had fire tacs. Fire tacs basically glow with light on them. They're almost like when you're driving down the road, that fluorescent stuff that's on the road that makes it shine, it's on tacs. You have to look for those.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that. No,
and
we didn't have.
We basically walked around the city for like a mile and a half, like 40 of us looking for fire tacs all around the city, shining flashlights everywhere.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah, that is a new spin to the game.
Yeah.
These are a lot of the night caches, they'll bring you to a location and then you have to look for the fire tacs. And you're wandering around for a good mile and you're trying to find them. I think the Allegheny State Park has a couple.
Oh. Huh. That's a new one. I'll have to look up. I'll have to see if we can find some of those.
Yes.
What do you do with them when you find them? You just know the fact that you found them, or do you take them, or what?
No, you leave the fire tacs there and you follow the cache.
Yeah. Duh.
And some they'll have you go in a big circle, and then like you have to look for a certain thing that will say that's the cache location. Usually I think it's 6 fire tacs. I forgot what the number of fire tacs, and it tells you you're at the ground zero of the cache.
Oh, huh. I didn't. Frankly, in any of the descriptions, we haven't seen anything about a fire tax. It was more or less just like, hey, the cache is here, or no hints allowed, or it's a quick cache and dash, or it's something. But we haven't seen anything about fire tax.
Yeah, look up fire tacs on geocaching. You'll see them. They're a lot. I think they were originally used for like people that were hiking and they were in the dark. They wanted to make sure they knew their way back. So, but then people started using for geocaching. So
we'll have to find one of those.
Wait. There was one. Remember it was that we had gone to the woods by Evan Angola State Park, and there was that red, white, and blue one. And there were the fire tracks on the trees. I do remember that. That was a fire tack one. Yes, we never found that one.
No, we not logged it as a DNC.
Yeah, or DNF. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, because we had gotten to where it was supposed to be, and it had disappeared. I have to check up on it and see if they put it back.
Yeah, I gotta go more outside the city when I cache in Buffalo because I think I'll have better luck when I'm up there.
Come down my area, you'll find plenty.
Yep.
Well, you guys have found my one cache, but you didn't find it when it was in its glory when I had my birdhouse up. But you got it. You guys put out that cache for me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
for restoring it.
It's been found, I think, a good few times after that. I gotta replace it with a birdhouse whenever I get a chance to come back north because we were planning coming in July this year, but with the whole Corona thing, I think that's going to cancel our plans. So. All right, I got another question. If you could take anybody famous geocaching to show geocaching, who would you take?
Take anyone famous geocaching? Oh gosh.
Although it's only a character by Johnny Depp, I'd have to take Captain Jack Sparrow.
That would be entertaining.
It would, but I feel like you would have some good geosenses while drinking the rum.
Well, I don't know if mine would be considered cheating, but I would take Jesus. He is famous after all. I don't know if it's considered cheating because he knows everything. Although he'd probably have some fun with it too. Even though he knew where it was hiding, he would just be like, we're just gonna have fun with this.
Is there any caches on your bucket list this year? If you could ever go back out?
Well, the angler fishing one is definitely on our
That
list.
one's definitely on the list.
Yeah. Stupid thing, gotta find it.
I know there's a few here. The one in the wall by Sloan that Elena still needs to find.
Yes.
Is that the one? It's called the Wall?
I don't know if it's called the Wall, but it's across from Noak's Bar.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the one that opened my door, Cat.
There's one that's by the Niagara River that's on it's on a break wall somewhere that I couldn't find. I could barely walk to it. It was all the rocks were making me feel like I was gonna fall into the water if I missed it with my foot. So it's called the Wall.
Okay.
It's in that one park, that one park I talked about earlier with that river walk that goes to the underneath Peace Bridge, but it's the other way.
Yeah, Broadway Park. I'm very familiar with it. I'd spent many, many, many hours there in the summer several years ago.
But there's a cache called the Wall over there, and I haven't been able to find it. I walked over it twice, and I almost fell in the lake both times. So.
Aha. All right.
Trying to think here. Is there anything you would teach yourself what you know of caching now? Is there anything you would have told yourself when you first started geocaching?
Oh, those are good questions.
Look in the most obvious spot.
Yeah, and also sometimes things are not what they appear to be.
Yes,
I think it's another good one. A lot of times you think they're one thing, and then you're like, oh. Like example, a couple weekends ago, there was at least 2 caches that Stacy and I had found, and she was like, well, it's supposed to be here, why isn't it? But then I happened to notice a couple containers in the water like nearby, and she was like, those are just garbage. I'm like, yeah, but what if they're the cache? So I had my grabber with me, and I checked them out, and sure enough, yep, they were the containers for the geocache, but the wind had taken them and blown them into some water, and so she just assumed, oh, they were garbage. And I was like, I bet that's the cache, because I know the containers that people use.
Yeah, that's like the one that I had found. People had been looking and looking and looking and couldn't find it. I'm like, does nobody realize that the name of the cache is exactly where the cache is supposed to be? And do we not realize that film containers are probably around here the number one container that is a cache? There was seriously a film container sitting 3 feet from the sign of the name of the cache. I went, oh, hell, look, there's the container.
Yeah.
It's right there. Why did nobody see it?
Well, also, too, her and I began wondering what people were signing, because when she opened the container, she then began to realize, as she's looking through the logs, the last time that log had been signed was 2016. So for 5 years, it had been sitting there, and we were like, what are people signing? Because there was some people that signed something, but we're like, what?
Well, sometimes people will throw down a throwdown cache, and they'll just forget that one's there, and they'll sign a throwdown cache that's hidden somewhere.
Huh.
So. Have you guys thought about going after New York's oldest?
Back where I thought it went, so.
Yeah. What was that, Dan?
Have you guys thought about going after New York's oldest this year or anytime soon?
I'd like to find the Buffalo's oldest. I don't know which one it is, but I want to find Buffalo's oldest geocache.
I think Buffalo's oldest is that multi I was talking about earlier. That one that's on the walkway over there. I think that's Buffalo's oldest cache.
I wonder if there's one down here in Chautauqua County, what that oldest one is.
I know I want to go to New York's oldest. That's out in the Finger Lakes area, I think, somewhere. If Adam was in here, I'd ask him, but I don't think he's in here.
Oh. Okay. But I would be curious as to what that one would be. Probably over by Albany.
Yeah, it's called Erie. I think it's called Erie, but I'm not sure if it's the oldest, but it might be the oldest multi. It's called Erie's End. It's GC5FFF.
All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, definitely got to be old.
So
yeah.
I want to go to Canada when I get a chance. I gotta get when I know for sure I'm coming home, I need to get my passport so I can cash up there.
Yeah, I have my enhanced. I don't know. I don't think you do. Well, you don't have license.
No, not yet. I haven't had the money to fork out for that.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I cash in the city, I have issues. When I was by your house, Stacy, when I almost got arrested because I was at the Buffalo terminal and the police came and they wanted to know what I was doing. They thought I was trying to break into the building over there.
Elena and I had found one actually on the station, not at the building, but it was on the falling apart station.
Yeah.
We had found one.
Was it
a little waterlogged, but we found it.
Was it the one that's like it's not actually at the station? It's on one of the outbuildings, like the rail depot parts where the train stopped.
Yeah, one of the platforms.
Yeah,
it's probably one I went after and I couldn't find.
Yeah, it is a little waterlogged and probably not where it belonged.
Yeah, I think it was moved from where it was originally.
Yeah, I went for that one
in the dark.
We did find it in the dark. You're right.
However, when we pulled up, it was still light.
It pulled light. Sorry. It was light, and then as we were finding it, it quickly got dark on us.
And that's not a great place to be in the dark over
there. No, not so much. Soon as the sun went away, I went, "Oh, I don't like this. Let's find this quickly and go."
Yes. Yeah, I had the police show up. I think somebody at one of the stores called the police on me, and I was by myself, and they want to know what I was doing, and even though I told them what I was doing and they were fine with it, they stayed in the parking lot until I left. They didn't want to make sure I wasn't climbing in there and doing anything over there. So
yeah,
there was another one we found in the dark, Stace. It was that women's cache in that tree by that church. I forgot what that one was called. It was like a woman. It was like in memory of a woman. I forgot what her name was. I think it was. I don't know. There's one that was in a tree, and I think it was.
Was that here downtown?
Yeah.
Okay, then I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, we found that at night too.
Yeah. That was not long after I had introduced you.
No, that was after I was on the rainy, cold day that we ended up getting too cold and said screw it and went to Tim Hortons and planned our next move and then decided, oh wait, it's 9 o'clock. I should probably go home.
Yeah. Sitting there shivering in Tim Hortons going,
yeah. I got there at like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And there's the oldest in New York right there.
Oh, this is the spot GC39. Ooh.
Oh, gee.
That is like very few numbers.
That's how old it is.
I know. It's awesome.
Have you guys ever been approached by the police at all or no?
No.
Not yet, no. Been pretty good and stealthy about that.
Yes.
I'm usually the good one with stealth. I'm like, nope, go here and shh, let's go.
We're good at not being scary. We're not good at not being suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Too much TikTok. Anyway, let's continue.
Now that I said the police, you probably are going to get stopped by the police, or the police are going to come up on you and say something, or.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had plenty of muggles come up on me and like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah,
I lost something.
That's entertaining.
I lost it. I'm good. You don't need to help me. I think I found it.
Well, while I was looking for that angler one, I had a guy who was standing there on the deck while his dad and sister were fishing, and he was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm looking for something." He's like, "What you looking for?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just something I dropped." He goes, "You don't know what you're looking for?" I was like, "No, it's something I forgot what it was. It'd been a while ago." Like, I'm trying to make up excuses, but he was just like eyeing me like, "You're nuts, lady. Like, what is wrong with you? What do you mean you don't know what you're looking for?"
There's a trail down here in Georgia. It's called the Silver Common Trail. It's almost like the Rails and Trail system, but it's completely paved. They paved it, and it goes from Atlanta to somewhere in I think Jacksonville, Alabama. Well, some of the
Gee.
caches
Oh
are
wow.
in the woods, and a lot of people use this trail when the virus isn't around anyway. And you could be going for a cache in the woods, and me and Aaron will be back in the woods going to look for it. And all of a sudden, we pop out of the woods, and there's a family walking by, and they're giving us dirty looks, like, "Okay, what were you guys doing in the woods?" Because here we are, like in the woods, we have like leaves and all whatnot, all around, all on our shirts, all on this, and they want to know, like, they give us the worst dirty look in the world. So
Ooh, Elena, the oldest cache in New York could actually be a day trip for us.
Oh, that could be
Southeast of
plausible.
Rochester.
Ah, yeah, that might
Make
be a
that
thing.
into a weekend trip or something. Drive down,
Hell
go
yeah.
get it, and drive back.
Heck yeah.
that's one that's been on our radar for a while. We just haven't. When we're up north, it's so hard to get away because all our family and all, like, it's just they want to pull at every limb that you have just to see you. So
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
so. Like, I have all these caches on my list when I go home, but I end up only finding like maybe one or two because, oh, you can't go out. You got to stay here. Oh, let's go out to dinner. Let's go here. Let's go there. It's awful. So I don't mind it. It's my vacation. I want to do what I want on my vacation. So
Right.
I'm trying to think here.
I'm
What
thankful
else?
that the only place I really go is Pennsylvania to go visit family. And, well, I haven't been there for quite a while because everybody's been kind of doing their own thing. I'm like, okay, you stay over there. I'll be over here.
Have you guys done any geo art yet?
No.
Nope. Haven't done any of those yet either. In fact, I don't think there's any around here.
There's,
Yeah,
I think,
they're
some
on
in Bradford.
That's PA.
That's
Yeah.
not too far of a drive.
No, I think
Depending on how
Yeah.
far, I forgot offhand where it is, but I think there is one. I think it's a canoe down there.
Oh, interesting. We have earth caches, puzzle caches, multi caches, regular caches, and premium caches. And I'm pretty sure that's all we have.
No, there's I think there's a night cache at the top of
Oh yeah, night caches.
the building downtown.
Oh, okay.
I know there's one down there that I want to go get. I think we've got a couple of letter boxes around somewhere.
Dang, I don't have that phone number. I am. Sucks.
I wish there was a
I haven't
webcam
got
in
the
Buffalo,
book.
but there's no webcam out there.
No, there's none of the webcams out here.
No. There's no lab caches either.
Nope.
There's no
Nope.
adventure. There's no adventure labs either.
No,
Nope.
we do have one under our belt, but there are none out here.
Yeah.
I know Nancy was trying to push hers. I don't know if hers got released or not.
No,
Well, I know the.
I saw that
Well, I
she had
know-
tried putting it out, but they stopped it.
I know. The geocaching thing of the month that Joshua usually puts with Cache Advance was you had to solve a mystery cache, and you could solve it at home. You didn't necessarily have to go find it, but you had to solve it. And so I was working on one of Nancy's caches where it was like I don't know how I can see it, but there was like Bible verses. So I was like, oh, I totes got this. And then some chords and the ABCD of the Bible verses fit in the chords, but then she says the numbers are not always in numerical order. So it's like got 5 5, and I'm like, that was stupid because I've never done these really. So it should have been a 2 out of 5, but I got over ambitious, and I'm just sitting here confused. So that one might have to go on the back burner for a while.
Have you guys tried a power run yet or no?
No,
Mm-mm.
usually don't have the time for the power runs.
No. We try to pack when Stacy comes to visit me. We try to pack like 6 weeks of stuff in like a weekend. So
Couple hours.
yeah, yeah.
They released quite a bit in Allegheny State Park. That's why I'm looking right now. They actually added quite a few in there.
And we also discovered if you go to the spot where the Allegheny State Park bash is, the other game obviously everyone knows is Muncie, and that place is so littered, like is so compacted with Muncies, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many Muncies. There's even one in the park that's all compacted of Muncies, but it forms the geocaching sign. It's really interesting.
We went to when we were in North Carolina, where the event was Geo Woodstock. It was crazy. Like you could literally sit in one spot and claim probably, I'm guessing probably 50 or so Muncies all in one sitting, not even having to move. So it was crazy down there.
That's the canal side too.
Yeah,
the water's so littered with them. You literally could sit there. Yeah, you could sit there forever. It would take you at least 2-3 hours to get them all.
If I see a Muncie, I'll claim it, but I won't pull it out unless I see one hanging around. I don't personally go and look for them, but like I still find them. Like it's since we found all the caches when we go home to New York, it's sort of when we go to the rest areas, the Muncies are usually they keep on in a rotation. So like we at least have a couple Muncies to find at each rest stop every time we stop. So
nice.
So we at least have something to find.
Yeah.
Right. I usually get the virtuals along the way if I'm traveling, especially on the thruway. There's tons of virtuals. So if I ever think of it and it's like, oh, it's a new area of the thruway that I haven't gone before. Let's see how many virtuals I can find. And I'll sit there on my phone with the virtuals.
Do you guys have any trips if Corona ever stops or no? You guys gonna try to do anything or no?
I know, not really. I think both of us are too poor to kind of go anywhere. So
yeah.
Caching is what it is. Like I'm gonna probably try to do the rails and trails when I come home, but I wish they would take care of the trail a little bit better because when I went last time, it was filled with ticks because the grass was knee high, and I was walking through it. It was like walking through a swamp because it couldn't dry. The ground wouldn't dry up, so I had an awful time on it.
Oof.
Sounds normal.
That too.
Like you tell they cut it, but it had been like 2 or 3 months since they cut it, and it was getting high. And like I said, there was ticks all over the place. I don't like dealing with ticks at all. So
thanks. I've come across a couple that are like that. I look and I'm like, I'm kind of not feeling wading through the grass today. I'm good.
Well, for me, it's been my dog. Well, the littlest dog had 4 of them in 1 year. That was highly intriguing. Luckily, she did not have Lyme disease. But then there's a couple of times I literally caught the tick like on my shoulder walking. I'm like, where did you come from?
Yeah, they're pretty. There's a state park in Georgia. It's called Chattahoochee Bend State Park, and we took Allie there, and she got like 20 of them in one walking. It was awful.
Oh no!
And then I had chiggers and ticks all over me too. It was probably the worst casting trip we've ever been on, surprisingly enough.
Oh no! Yeah.
Like we didn't even notice until we got home. All of a sudden, I got out of the car and I'm looking at my arm and looking at my leg, and the ticks are crawling up and down my leg. So.
Ugh.
Yeah, for us, the fur babies stay home.
Yeah.
We'll just contain this to 2 people and not 2 people and 2 dogs, or 3 people and 2 dogs. It's just
no. We'll leave the geopups home.
Yes, the geopups can stay home.
Have you guys thought about like getting any of your your like your fizzy grid or anything like that complete? Your difficulty grid?
No, I'm not so super worried about that. More in it to go find the caches and make memories.
Yeah.
What's probably been your best moment so far, geocaching so far? If you had to pick one, either together or separate.
I'd have to say mine was actually not too long ago. I had gotten the email on my phone that there was a new cache in less than a mile away from my house. And I went, okay, where's the shoes? I ran out the door because in my neighborhood, it's not something that happens very often. Like, I think besides this one, there are 2 other caches in the neighborhood. So I'm like, oh, new cache, where's my shoes? I need them, and I need them now.
Yeah.
Threw on the shoes and practically ran out of my house. I'm like, nope, this is mine. Only to get there and see somebody else already walking away. I was like, oh, that's okay. Second to find's fine too.
Yeah.
Now, I used to be a first to
hard
find
for me to-
hound, but not anymore.
I mean, I'm not super. I'm not a hound to find them. I think I have mine turned on for a mile radius if a new one pops up because I don't have a car, so I walk everywhere. And walking any further than a mile for a cache there and then back, just a little much.
Mhm. I at least have the car, but the truck. But even with that, it's I don't personally at the moment have the moment to spend the $30 for the premium, but we're down to one vehicle right now since my Toyota doesn't work anymore. So, yeah, that's a story. Anyway, so I usually can't. I don't know when they're there, but there was a couple that we found this weekend that were kind of newbies that had been posted. But we also have to be careful because we discovered that our vet is a geocaching fiend, and he will find the very first. Every time there's a first to find, he's always there to find it, which is totally not fair.
Let me ask what kind of dogs you guys have, or what kind of fur babies.
Yes, Time. What kind of fur babies? All right, I have this is going to be intriguing. I have a Chihuahua Terrier Pug mix named Lucy, and I have a Black Lab Retriever named Bandit. So those are my Geopups that I have.
Are they trackable yet?
No, we haven't got that far. I think I wanted to turn
some tags for their collar.
I know I should. I think I wanted to turn our truck into one, and I think my husband said no. So either yes or no. I don't really remember when he ran outside for a few minutes, so I don't know.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we head off for the night?
I don't know. Is there anything you thought, Stacey?
No, I think we covered everything mainly about the bash and then just had a whole lot of fun chatting.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys were able to do it.
Well, I guess too, we do usually at our bashes, if we have them, we'll give out some swag as well. We have bracelets and some other little things. I do kind of want to mention. Yeah, there you go. Yep, she does have one.
Silly bands. It says Wandering Geocachers on it.
Yes. Actually, I was one of the geocachers actually really touched our hearts, I'd have to say, because she came to our bash. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. But she works for like a nursing home or something. And so she couldn't have like regular bracelets on because they would either break or something. And so she put our bracelet on. She wore it every day for a year, like since like from the first cache bash to the second cache bash. She had taken it off, and she was like, "Yeah, I keep it on all the time." And then people ask me about it, and I tell them. And then Josh and I had attended a geocache meetup in Derby, or was it Derby? Derby or Eden, Angola. I don't remember what it was. She was there and she said, "Oh," and I was handing out some of our bracelets. She's like, "Oh, thank goodness." She said, "You gave me one." She goes, "Mine just broke the other day and I wanted another one." So, it was the Thanksgiving day. Josh reminded me with Nancy and all of them. And so she was like, "Thank you for for giving me it back and giving me a new one." And so that was fun. The other thing I want to mention is we actually have social media pages. We have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook Patreon, but we're not hardly. I hardly do Patreon actually. So the other
I think
four,
we might start working on that eventually, though.
yeah. So we're kind of trying right now to get as many people subscribed to the YouTube channel as possible. We're up to 56 people. If you're not subscribed, please go follow us on YouTube. I know I'm extremely behind on videos. Life has been very hectic lately. Plus, I had some technology issues because my one laptop kind of wasn't working, and so I have a new one now. But now my problem is it takes like 6 hours to upload a video because of my internet so crappy. So, but definitely, I'll try and see if I can get some more up there. But I know we're on the Wandering Geocachers Facebook page a lot. The Twitters and the Instagrams are when we upload videos, so that we have our, Twitter. Maybe Stacy and I will try and be more active in our Instagram and posting some shots of us finding caches or some little mini videos or something. Maybe we'll start doing.
Yeah.
But I can post in the link of this video or as a comment or whatever our social media pages there and everything if you want to click on those and join us. But we're trying to get as many people as we can. We're always up to having more friends join us on our social media pages. We'll try and get some swag for the bash this year. We are also in the process of considering, as you see, Stacy and I have our t-shirts and then our names are on the back. Hers is Mother of Alyssa, mine's God's Cargo 1987. My husband is Chevy's 84. We'll have to get him a new shirt because he's the security shirt. This is bright yellow. But
yeah, I'll have to get him his own actual shirt made.
Yeah. Yes, but I know we are definitely looking at some t-shirts and stuff. If that's something you guys would be interested, kind of let us know down below. We'll see what we can do. We're also looking at, I did find some baby onesies that said like baby geocacher on it or something, baby cacher, something really cute on it that we had looked at one point of doing so that you can have your little children all decked out too. So again, if that's something you'd be interested in, let us know below in the comments or, hop on over to our pages and let us know. We'd be glad to have you have that and definitely look into that. Plus that if, any little bit of money that we can get would actually help us because it helps us with bringing more content to you, bringing you some of our stuff. So then you can advertise as well as saying, hey, these are one of the cachers we follow, join them too. But it definitely helps us also with caching supplies, different things like that. So it would be helpful if that's, something that y'all would like to do.
All right. You have anything else to say, Stacy, or are you good?
Nope, I think Elena touched about everything.
All right. I want to thank you all for joining Cache Chat, and I hope to see you guys out there.
All right. Remember, keep wandering. Bye.